Hi, and welcome to Two CPAs and the Mic, the podcast where we talk tax, finance, and all things related to business. Whether you're a business owner, working professional, or someone who wants to start a career in accounting, this is the podcast for you. Hosted by CCK Strategies partners Jeff Frable and Sara Mays, we dive into relevant business and tax matters with working professionals to make these topics less intimidating, relatable, and dare we say fun? Let's get down to business. Welcome back to another episode of Two CPAs and the Mic. We are covering relevant business and tax topics. We're applying straight talk and practical information without the jargon and stuffiness normally associated with our profession. Today in the studio, we've kicked out Mr. Frable, and it's just you and me, KP.
All right. That sounds great.
It sounds great.
I like how that sounds.
I know. I love it. So, we're going to have a special episode today. And honestly, with the amount of talent in this room, I think we can skip over the banter between you and me because we're going to banter with my girls.
Yeah, let's skip it.
Okay, good deal. So I'm going to turn it over to you because you're going to kind of lead the forge down the... I'm just going to come up with all these weird fancy words. So you're just going to start the introduction.
I like it.
Introduction.
Why don't I just jump in?
Okay.
Why don't I jump in? Okay. So the reason I'm so happy that Jeff isn't here is because we have 3 people in his place. We have 4 amazing partners at CCK. Half of our partner body are made up of wonderful, dynamic women who I am so honored and pleased and proud to work with. We have Sara Mays, who our audience knows. Yay, Sara. Kyna Leva. Kyna Leva is partner. Kaitlin Flynn. Yay, Kaitlin. Yeah. And Luann Ranowski. The dynamic 4. If anyone in this world has seen anything on social media, you 4 were also recognized as powerhouse women in the accounting profession. Kyna was recently recognized too from the Oklahoma CPAs. I forgot
Forbes.
I'll go back. Thank you, Forbes, for the incredible work and expertise that she has within our profession. So to be able to have you guys together and just have this conversation is really special. My goal is for everyone to hear how, number one, how cool, how funny, how intelligent, how wonderful you are, but also for those who are looking to make an entry into this profession that we can have our cake and eat it too. We work really hard to do that. And we take different paths to get there. And is it hard? Yeah. Because if it was easy, everybody'd be doing it. But you guys make it look really easy and seamless. So I'm really excited just to dive in. So just for our listeners, can we go around the table and you guys introduce yourself?
Let's start with Luann.
Great.
Okay.
Yay.
I have to figure this out. I am Luann Ranowski. I've been a partner for about 7.5 years. I did a very non-traditional track in that I started out just doing other things. I've had my own business in accounting. I've done some other types of businesses, owned my own business, just various different things. And then about 30 years ago, I began to be in public accounting. Found that I loved it, found that it energized me. Taking care of people, taking care of business owners was fun. And helping them solve their problems was a lot of fun. And so I stuck with it, and it's kept me entertained for this long.
I love how you said I stuck with it. That's I stuck with it. Kaitlin, tell us about Kaitlin.
Yeah, sure. I'm Kaitlin Flynn. I have been at CCK for about 13 years, and 4 of those years I've been a partner. Before that, I had some experience at a large CPA firm, worked with a lot of large companies. But before that, I worked with a lot of small companies. So similar to Luann, I've had a wide range of experience. I work with a lot of our international clients. And one of the big things that drew me to accounting is really just solving problems. I recently was saying that I think our job as a solutions architect, we're here to come up with solutions for our clients and figure out how to make their businesses grow. So just exciting every day.
Yes. And fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Kyna, you're up.
Kyna Leva. I have been at CCK almost 15 years, and I've been a partner for about half of those. I started out at a big national firm and really enjoyed that, but learned quickly I didn't have the hours in me that they wanted to pull out of me. So
Yeah.
I switched to an industry job like many people do. And I found out quickly industry was not my jam. I loved the public accounting part of this industry. And so I went back to public accounting. And the why I found my way to CCK was because of our connection with our clients. The client base being entrepreneurs keeps it interesting every single day, solving those problems. And so it's really been so rewarding, and it gives me that fulfillment that I need to choose this every day.
Nice.
All right, Sarah Mays. Tell us about Sarah Mays.
Well, I have been at CCK for, it'll be 20 years this year. And I've been partner for 18 months. So, yay. And my path, similar to Luann's, is very untraditional. Went to school, didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up, had a plethora of majors and fell into accounting. When we lived in another state, a sole proprietor took a chance on me before I only had one accounting class, and fell in love with the problem solving, and debits and credits just made sense. Everything had a balance. Everything had an equal, and loved that. And then when we moved to Oklahoma, found CCK and have been here ever since.
You guys both, you all nailed something. You talked a little bit about your why. What was interesting? What drew you into this world of public accounting, the different paths you took to get there, and then boomeranging back. I think it's important for people to hear that not everybody knew exactly what they wanted to do right out of college, or that they didn't live a different life beforehand, because you all did. I mean, Kaitlin, I listened to your story and I think about your background and the type of clients you worked on, but you knew that, I love the phrase, a solutions architect. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Trademark.
I mean, that's it. It's so good. It's so good. It's not about what people think about the generalized statement of what a tax professional or an advisor, but it's really about listening and problem solving. And I think big picture, what you guys do best is you take your natural gifts and talents and you put them to great use by helping business leaders make good decisions, solve difficult problems. And just watching that day to day is really cool. So I do have to ask though, Luann, I'm going to start with you, because I know a little bit about your background and your story, but I want to know what was the moment when you realized this is the work I'm meant to do? This is it.
Well, probably when I was a junior in high school. I took an accounting class because I wanted to have a class with one of my favorite, one of the favorite teachers at the school, who was one of my best friend's mom. And so I took an accounting class, and like Sara said, debits and credits make sense. Those little practice sets, they were so fun. And when you were done, it was just like mowing the lawn. It looked so nice when you were done, and everything was just put together, buttoned up, and it just made sense. And so that just gave me a sense of accomplishment. And so then I knew what I wanted to do in college. I wanted to be able to provide for my family no matter where I lived in the world, because I had no idea where I would be. And so if you live in a small town, they need accountants. If you live in a large city, they need accountants. If you live in a foreign country, they need accountants. And so I could do what I do anywhere I happen to be. And that also made sense to me. And so I pursued an accounting degree. I didn't have to struggle with that. Do I always love the accounting side of the house? No, some days I just like somebody else do this part. But I love helping people solve those, being that solutionist. I love being able to make sense of things that don't make sense.
That was another great word, solutionist.
I know, I heard it too. I wrote it down. There's already some really good nuggets.
Well, that's a spin of Kaitlin's.
Trademark -2.
We're on a roll.
We could patent this stuff. Right? And so it just made sense. And then, I just care about people. And so accounting is just my my venue for doing that.
Thank you, Luann. That makes a lot of sense. When I hear you talk, I hear your passion. I hear about how much you love people. And honestly, I think internally, externally, when people think of Luann's X factor, what is the thing that makes her different? It is how you love people, how you connect with people. It's not about what's your problem. It's about how are you doing? What's going on? And then you learn so much about your clients, your teammates, the people that you mentor, because you dive in first to the individual. And truly, that's what you're known for. And I strive that if I can be known for that, then I have done well. You are an example. You really are. You really are. Okay, so 4 leaders in the room, leading a firm of the number 214th firm in the country. Is that right? That's correct?
Sounds good. I believe you.
You guys are leading it. You're leading it. I want to know how you got here in this leadership position, because I think that we have a team at CCK. Everyone is a leader in their own manner, in their own right. Even if it's a leader that they're leading their own project, they're leading their own workload, whatever that means. But I'd like to hear about your path growing into these leadership positions. Did it start in sports? Did it start in brownies? Did it start in I was the oldest child? I'm kind of curious about that path because everybody's different. And I think someone in our audience needs to hear a little bit about that no 2 stories are the same. Kyna, I'm thinking of you. Do you mind kicking us off?
No, I don't mind at all. So leadership has always been something really near and dear to my heart. It was something that was instilled in me very young. The high school that I went to, the church I was a part of as a youth, leadership was a very big thing that we focused on. My church did a lot of youth conferences. And so our youth group would go and lead those conferences. So I was standing in front of thousands of people in another country speaking and getting that opportunity at the age of 16. So
that's incredible.
That's incredible. Such a gift because now I'm able to stand in front of people and share my heart and that be an easy thing for me to do, where for others, they haven't had that opportunity and it's very scary. Yeah. So I think what was really important about that time was how they trained us as leaders. And it was from a servant mindset. It was, as a leader, you're there to lift others up. You're not there to be the star. And so I think that is something that's really important about leadership when you're leading people to success. It's how can we help you get there instead of, come on, just follow me. And so that leadership style that I was taught was really, really important. And it plays a part every day as I lead our team here, or I'm helping lead a client through a thought process or those different things of how can I help right now? And so being able to take that seat of humility in leadership, still being strong, confident in those different things, but being able to kind of sit in that seat of, let's figure this out together. What can we kind of dig up as a solution and kind of move forward? It was strengthened also in sports, played sports all through high school. So having to do the hard things, getting up for waking up at 5 a.m. to get to the 6 o'clock practice and then going to school all day and then doing the after school practice, like just that grind that I had as a high school athlete, that you've got to pull on that some days. And so just that ability. So there are skill sets that people are building in their childhood that they will pull on one day.
Yep.
I just graduated my oldest and I'm seeing that in her. I'm seeing the things that the disciplines that she just created because of the structure around her while she was growing up in her school, in her sports. She's leaning on that now when she's in a completely new environment, new expectations. And so she's leaning on, okay, what are the things that have served me well in the past? Let me just do those things. And so she's able to show up well and begin to find out what a leader means for her in her current situation.
Kyna, you said something that she's pulling on everything that she learned in school, on the court, whatever that was. But that most important environment was her home, because you and your family instill those values. And yeah, she's the firstborn. She's setting the pace. It's just so exciting to hear the foundation that you had, the disciplines that you created. And now I'm going to go there. You've created a legacy. Your daughter is taking those same skills and gifts, and she's benefiting a whole new team. I'm so excited. Thank you. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Sara,
Yes.
what about you, leader?
While Kyna was talking, I'll be honest, I was half listening because I knew that I was going to get this question too, and leaning into what you were saying
Luann would
too.
say that that's not the way to listen if you're active listening.
I was listening because I have
to get her words together. She needs a minute.
I know. Here we go.
Thinking time.
Here we go. Yes. But I didn't play competitive sports, but I was in youth group, being a leader in youth group. But really, my leadership style kind of goes down to the why and asking tons of questions. My mom and dad will absolutely tell you that and there's a 9-year gap between me and my younger sister. So they had 9 years of me asking why solo. And then they got a break when Lauren came along. But always asked why and how does this work and what does this do? And even playing Tinker Toys or Lincoln Logs or anything like that and building, just like, why does this do that? And why does that do that? So I like to break down the why behind everything, but it also leads into not just the why of how things work and processes and procedures, but the why behind why people interact, how they interact, why they interact, and what they do. So that leadership brings into, I think I help develop people to ask the why and get to the bottom of what's going on, what's happening, and all of those things.
I'll second
Sara,
that. That's how she shows up in partner meeting. She asks the questions we don't think to ask. And I rely on her heavily for that because I am more to accept what's there and maybe question a few things that don't make sense in my brain, but I can count on Sara to ask all the questions.
Yes.
And I am so grateful for it.
But then, Kyna, you've gotten really comfortable saying, I don't know. And stop asking me.
Ask. You know what? There's a lot of that's a leadership. There's a great leadership quality in that answer. I don't know.
That's right.
That is.
I don't know the answer, and I think that that's when leaders build so much credibility, not with total transparency, but just with honesty. I don't know the answer, but you feel really comfortable that we're going to get there, or what do you really want to know? Because I have a feeling there's more to that question than just what you're asking. And that's how Kyna dives in. And Sara, your curiosity, we've had so many different guests on the podcast alone who've talked about that quality of curiosity, how that is such a success driver for so many business leaders. And when I think of curiosity and questions, that's you. We lean into it. We all do. We do. Okay, Kaitlin, I know your path, your story is different, and I'm super excited to hear it.
Yeah, sure. So for me, I think I grew up with role models that showed me what good leadership is. Both of my parents were pastors for most of my life, and they were both business owners. So I got to see specifically seeing a woman in leadership.
Oh, good.
I grew up with the understanding that's just what we do.
Normal.
That's normal. Yeah. That's not strange. And then similar to what Kyna said, just that servant heart, servant leadership of you lead with compassion. You lead with assuming good intentions from the other side. And then as I got older through sports, through other activities at school, I really learned that I can help identify some skills. And then because I come in with knowing and believing good intent, let me build on that for you. Let me help you become the best you can be. And also let me arrange this. I see a problem. Let me try to fix this so that our team is working in the best way
Tetris.
that we can. Yes. Because that's so much.
Restorative. Let's go.
Yeah, that's right. That's my restorative coming out. Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to go off script a little bit because, again, I think that there's so much that I love being able to brag on who you are and what you do, but more importantly, your hearts and how you lead. If you could think of someone in a situation who is either a working professional and is just grinding every single day and has amazing talent, but may not be doing what she wants to do. What for that person, who would like to give some advice?
I would love to do that part.
I kind of thought that
Yes.
too would want to do that. So that's kind of what I had in my mind too, Luann.
Dream your dreams and never give up on them. I waited from the time I was 23 to the time I was 45 to get my CPA. That's how long it took for me to pursue getting that certificate. But I did decide when I was 23 that I would get my CPA. And so after my youngest child graduated from high school, I went back to school, got the additional hours, and sat for my CPA. And so at the old age of like 51, I think, I achieved that goal. And so dream your dream. Don't give up. Be curious. I love that. Be curious about everything. I learned to scuba dive just a couple of years ago. And so now there's all this curiosity of a whole new world that's below the waterline. And so be curious about all those things that you want to know about. And until you are 32 or older, you don't have to be settled into one place. Try it all. Go for all of it. Try public accounting, try private accounting, try finance, try industry, try everything, whatever your goals are. Try everything. And you'll find those things that you don't like, and you'll find those things that you do, and then do what you love.
Okay, I'm going to pose the question. The profile is on someone different. Doesn't matter if this person, it doesn't matter. This is for everybody. Let's say there's someone who didn't grow up in a traditional leadership role. They were not athletically gifted, didn't have that leadership role on a team. They may not have been in student council, didn't lead their Cub Scout or Brownie troop, but now they're gaining this knowledge and they can see whatever I'm doing, I find that I have these natural leadership abilities, but I'm not really getting recognized. Who wants to speak into that person?
That's a hard question, Christine.
I know. I'm going to ask you to answer it. I'm going to ask you, Sara, because I think that there is someone out there that's ready to hear it, that I may not have looked like that. I didn't look like a traditional leader by the world's terms.
Right.
Boy, do I have a lot to offer. Let's go.
Yeah.
How do you encourage them?
I would encourage them to find somebody that either it can be in their organization or outside of their organization to kind of just to start the conversation and talk through those things of what they're feeling and seeing and how it can be applied to honing their leadership skills. I appreciate here at CCK, we have, over the years, we've called it something different, a mentor, a coach,
right.
a supervisor / coach, whatever it is. But I think that here we do lean into that and we welcome people to start that conversation, even if we don't start it as the leaders. And because we also look for people's sweet spots. So we don't want anybody to be forced into a role or responsibility that they don't want to take. But I encourage anybody to speak up and talk.
Yeah, I just want to say, I think that's the first step. You have to say out loud what you want and what you're interested in. And I think a lot of people wait for others to identify it within themselves, but it's really a two-way street,
That's good.
Because nobody's going to know your thoughts and your desires the way that you do. So speak up and share that with others. Yeah.
Don't make leadership bigger than it is. It's simple.
Oh, good.
It's
good.
So
That's
simple.
so good.
Because if you have people in your sphere of influence, you are a leader because you can give in to those people around you. That's all that it is. Noticing, recognizing those around you, and how can you support them and make them better while also receiving the benefit of them doing the same. And so that can happen no matter where you're sitting, no matter your experience level, but it's seeing those opportunities to share what you know in a way that is received. Don't show up as the know-it-all. Nobody likes that.
Yeah.
But show up with your knowledge. Don't be afraid to speak up. If you're out in a cubicle area with other teammates and someone has a question,
Yes.
help them with their question. Because then just through showing up, your leadership will show because you're caring about others. And that's what it's all about anyway. So don't make it this big old thing that leadership's the person on the stage, or leadership is the one who's talking, or leadership's the one who has the title. Because I know
Right.
my career throughout the years, there's been people with titles with zero leadership ability. So it's like, titles don't make it. It's your heart and how you show up for others. That's leadership. It's really simple.
Oh, that's so good, you guys. Thank you. I mean, I think we just did full circle on leadership and the perceptions and the assumptions that we make. But it really does come down to the why. Sara, you mentioned the why and the purpose earlier. It circles back. So let's bring it back into our industry. Let's talk a little bit about public accounting and advisory. So, listening audience, CCK Strategies is a full service public accounting and advisory firm. We focus on helping entrepreneurs meet their goals and realize their dream. They're really two different things. And that's what our advisors do best. We are not a staff of accountants. We are a team of advisors. And if we do our job really well, we're trusted advisors. So we have a lot more responsibility to help facilitate some of those dreams and goals. Would you guys agree with that?
Yep, absolutely.
So the reality of building a career in this profession, let's have some honest reflection. In a historically male-dominated profession, what does it take to get here? What would you do to speak into this in this ever-changing climate of public accounting? Kaitlin, what are you doing to help navigate some of the changes we're seeing, not only in our industry, but how we're navigating new technology and still growing people in this previously male-dominated profession?
Yeah. One of the things I tell a lot of new teammates is that one skill that if I could recommend to them, they really focus on is communication. And to me, communication helped in the older environment where you are doing all the work yourself, you're grinding through the hours, there's all these projects that you have to communicate. But it's also going to work really well in the new environment when we're relying more on technology, where we have a new way of getting things done. It's talking to your clients. It's being able to do the active listening that Luann teaches all of us about.
Yes.
And then being able to communicate that effectively and work within a team effectively. Because more and more, and we've gravitated this way, I think, in our industry, it's servicing the whole business. It's not just providing a tax return. That's not what people want from our profession anymore. They want advice. They want holistic business judgment. They want more. And so being able to listen, hear the needs, communicate it effectively, that's really going to carry us well throughout the transition that we're seeing in the industry.
I'm going to ask a question and go a little deeper on that, Kaitlin, because I heard yesterday, we were in a wonderful lunch and learn, and it was really on communication and customer service. And there were some great nuggets. I'm putting myself in the position of someone who's brand new in their career. And I'm hearing about the power of communication. And I'm thinking, wow, how would someone digest that? Do they think that they have to start regurgitating expertise immediately? Does that mean that they all of a sudden have to go from an introvert to an extrovert? When you talk about communication, what is that? What is it big picture?
I'll start. I think it's first of all acknowledging the person who's asking the question or asking for the advice and saying, hey, I hear you. And being, like Kyna said before, willing to say, I don't know, but I'm going to lean in and try and find the answer. So I think for a newbie coming in to the profession, no, you don't have to regurgitate everything, but having the confidence and being straightforward and saying, it's okay to say, I don't know, but having the willingness to go find the answer or go find somebody who does know the answer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I would say for newer people, new to the industry, new to their careers, they're going to have plenty of opportunities just from the get-go to communicate. They're going to have a supervisor that they're needing to communicate their work schedule to. They're going to need to communicate their workload to. They're going to have teammates that they will need to make sure that they're updated. They'll need to find the ability, which we find very difficult in our industry because we have high achieving people, to raise your hand and say, I don't understand. Can I get some help? And so that ability to be self-aware so that you can communicate to the people around you. This isn't a sit in a cube and don't talk to anybody job.
No,
not anywhere in this industry. That's what people have in their brains about accountants, is that they're locked away in some basement and they don't talk to people.
Right.
Like, that is not it at all.
No.
Like, I was actually surprised years ago how much just even how our firms are set up for community, that you've got a cube right next to somebody else that then ends up being your best friend for life. And so that's the fun part out of it. But there'll be plenty of opportunities to work the communication skills as you level up. And if you've got great mentors around you, they'll help you understand what that looks like for where you're sitting.
I would add to that, own your own future.
Yep.
Don't rely on someone else to own your future.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, be curious. Surround yourself with people who will help you grow, who will help you learn. We are 4 women in a firm of 8 partners, and this is unusual in our industry.
Yeah.
We could have been in a firm where women were not promoted to partner in spite of our talents and our gifts. And so we found our place where the existing partners reached down, pulled us up. I ask a million questions. What about this? What about that? And our partners would answer and spend time feeding us information and helping us learn. And so we continue to do that. And that's a part of our culture. But a new person needs to own their own education, own their own growth, and find themselves those people who will feed into them and help them grow and help them get to that next level.
Yeah. I love that you said that, Luann. As you were talking, I was thinking about when I first started my career. I remember being led by others who were mimicking their leaders. And Kyna, what you said earlier, we've had all the people with the titles who may not have been the best leader. And so we have some pretty poor examples. I'm kind of curious. Kyna, you said it earlier. You can't just sit in a cubicle and think that it can just be you and your screen and that's your best friend. It doesn't work that way. People need people. And then we talked about how you learn and grow and you need people. So I'm going to ask you how do you do it? How do the 4 of you collaborate? Not only in leading the team, but day to day, you're working, you're advising. Kaitlin, how does that start? What does it look like from your perspective?
Yeah, it starts with knowing each other, knowing what our strengths are, knowing that we have different perspectives. I mean, Kyna and I were going back and forth just yesterday about a client. And sometimes we just want to pick each other's brains. You know, people think you get to partner and you know everything and that you're expected to just have all the answers. But really, we're here to collaborate. We know how to do that well now because that's part of what got us here.
Yeah, right. Don't you feel it's a privilege to be able to sit and pick each other's brains? Because you have such beautiful expertise. You have creativity. You have different skills. Don't you find that just to be the coolest blessing that you can sit and pick each other's brains?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's
huge.
not an environment that is in all places.
Right.
Yeah.
The fact that we're competing together, not against each other.
Right.
Oh, that's
that
good. Kyna, say it again. That's so good.
We're competing together, not against each other. And that is a cultural mindset for our whole firm, but it's also how we're set up. There's not only so many of whatever title at whatever level. It's as you grow into the abilities of that and you're able to create enough value in those spaces, we'll make space for you. And so you're not competing against your peer. You hope they succeed too. And so that's the beauty of our partner group and our teams is we're trying to help each other succeed. And so I'm grateful I can go and Kaitlin, do you have 2 minutes for me just to run this idea by you? Because this is what I think. But
it's never just 2 minutes.
I know.
With us, it's never just 2 minutes.
I know. Well, 2 minutes plus 10 minutes, but
rounding error.
It still falls within the 0.25. So it's all
materiality,
good.
right?
Oh, we're geeking out on time and billing. It's so good. It's so good. Sara, what do you have on that one? How do you collaborate?
Well, I just think that I know who I need to go to when I need something. And from a professional expertise level, I know I can go to Luann for IRS audit stuff and anything related to IRS. I know I can go to Kaitlin with international stuff. And I know I can go to Kyna with business structure and help there.
Yeah.
And then extra special for Kyna, she helps me with my words. Although I have recently found co-pilots, so
I have been replaced by AI.
I keep reflecting on
you
the
have been
idea.
enhanced by AI.
Yeah.
Enhanced by AI.
We're going to have Kyna train all of our co-pilots
There
to
you
talk.
go.
So we all sound like her now.
Yes.
That's it. When I look at the talent, Sara, you know that when you go, you think of Luann. Do you remember we've done a podcast with all three of these amazing experts. Kyna, you talked about work-life harmony, and that was absolutely amazing. How to set the tone in your work and your life. Again, it's kind of that how you can work really hard to have your cake and eat it too. It does take work. Kaitlin, you were a guest and you talked about the global footprint that we have and the work that we make, not only on our local, state, and national, but on our global economy. So pat yourself on the back. That's big. And if anyone wants to go back, it's in season 1. And then Luann was right there talking about the IRS. And my biggest takeaway, and I repeat it a lot, is just open the envelope. Going back to that courage. We make things so big and so scary and this and that. And Luann, you have the gift for simplifying it of, you guys, just open the envelope. Just open the envelope. And it's that kind of nugget that I think that we get to be a part of every single day and to hear you guys talk about what you bring to the table with your high level of expertise. But now I think what our audience is hearing is how not only it's not so much how you know, but it's how much you care. And that's the lasting impression that you make and leave on our team and on our clients. So I'm just gonna go there. What about this area of the future of accounting and consulting? Where's the profession headed? Where's it going? I know we don't have a crystal ball, but if you had one, you just wanted to tap into a little bit, who'd like to share about where our profession's headed?
Kaitlin, I think you kind of started that conversation when we were talking about it's going toward advisory.
Yeah. It'll be a lot less about, I need you to do an audit and I need you to fix my books. It's going to be, I have a business. We need you to come in and help it run better.
Yes.
And we're here to help you figure out what are your goals? How can we address all these different business areas to get you towards that goal?
Yeah, because a business is so much more than the numbers.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kyna, you talked about mindset earlier. When we're talking to anyone who's looking at this new image of our industry, what are some of the skills and attitudes that this next generation or existing professionals need to be successful in this advisory environment?
I would say that obviously that active listening, we keep going back to that. But where you're able to find that ability to be an active listener is some personal confidence, knowing who you are and how you can show up. And so then that takes the nerves out. So then you can just really be there and listen and think about solutions and those different pieces.
Yeah.
But the first step for new people entering the industry is, who are you? And how can you show up your best self? So building good habits around your professional life, your personal life, so that you show up as your best self and figuring out who that is.
Yeah.
And so I think there is such a transition when you come out of high school and you come out of college. You've been told day in and day out what to do.
Yeah.
And now you're a professional and you're expected to show up in a certain way. And if you don't have a micromanager, they may not tell you what to do every day. And so then it's this whole shift to, okay, who am I and how am I going to show up and how can I show up relevant? But until you get comfortable with who you are and how you can sit in your own skin, it's hard to advise others. So that's like day one, step one. But then once you get that settled, you can sit, you can hear people, you can advise. And really for me, it's connecting what I know and the experience I've gained with what the client's talking about. And if I can just give them a piece of my knowledge so that they can make a wise decision, I know I've done my job. So I'm not making decisions for them. That's not our job. We're advisors. So they bring a question. We offer what we know with the experience we have, what we've seen, what we see is happening with other clients. We give them information and then they get to make the decision, feeling empowered with knowledge, feeling empowered with, okay, Kyna's seen some things. She's got other clients like me. This is what's happening in their world. And so then they can make a decision they feel good about. And so that's when I know I've done my job, is if I'm able to just hand them a piece of my knowledge and they can make a good sound decision.
You make it sound so easy. Luann, you see, it's her gift of words, right, you guys? She just
100.
does. But her authenticity will never let you think that it's fluff or that it doesn't take a lot of hard work. That's what I love about Kyna's approach. Luann, you said it earlier, and Kyna just tapped into it a bit. Don't let anyone define who you are. Define it for yourself. What do you have to add to it?
That takes some soul searching. I still do that even now. Even several years ago, I made a list because I am an accountant. So I made a list, my little achiever person, but I made a list of my gifts and talents. I made a list of my skills, and then I made a list of what I care about. And
even better.
And then I tied that all back to how I show up for clients, how I show up for my family, how I show up in my nonprofit work, because then I can be me everywhere I am.
That's so good, Luann.
Yes.
That's
no
so
kidding.
And I don't struggle to figure that out. But the days when I forget that, I literally have to go back to that list.
Nice.
And it was a paper list. Even 4 years ago, it was a paper list. And it gets revised because I get new skills and talents. I get new things I care about. And so just be true to that, because what you really care about is your passion. It is your calling. It is your core of who you are.
Yeah. Wow. Sara, I want you to finish it out with one thing that we talk a little bit, probably a little more openly on the podcast. And because we hash through a lot of planning and we sift through a lot of ideas. And I think what you, Jeff, and I all talk about at some point, we all have a bit of imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
And it sneaks up on us, even when we're confident, even when we know, it sneaks up on us in the most unassuming environments. Anyone that's listening, how would you speak into that about, it's real, it happens. But what do we do to avoid it? Or what do we do to overcome it?
Yeah.
Who are those people around you that pulls you out of it? Because we have those too.
Well, and go into that, that's probably what I would lean into most, is finding somebody that you trust and that cares about you and will speak honestly to you, and where you can have those honest conversations like, hey, I feel like I'm faking it. And I feel like I'm showing the world one thing, but inside I'm freaking out and feel like I'm not living up to who everybody thinks I am. And that's hard. And that's a hard place to be mentally. And so I think that you just have to find somebody to to talk through and say it out loud. If you say it out loud, then more often than not, it sounds silly and it's not true. And it really, at the end of the day, is not true. I did that to you yesterday, Christy. I said something out loud.
We do it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We do it a lot. I have an exercise and I shared it with my children when they were little. We have this white colander. We still have it. It's plastic and it's probably not good because it's plastic, but it serves the purpose. But when we would talk about all the junk, the thoughts, the feelings, behaviors. And I would say, just put all the junk in the colander, run it under the water, get it really clean, and then let the junk flow out. And if you have to, turn on the disposal just to make sure it's really, really gone. And then just clean up those thoughts and you're good. And you're feeling pretty good with, okay, this is the truth. Oh, hello, truth. You can deal with the truth.
Mm-hmm.
It's when the junk it turns at colors. It looks grimy. So just let the junk go down the drain. And sometimes you need that person, that filter, someone to help you just sift some of the junk out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that as a whole, I see you guys doing that together. And it is just so cool. Not only in the way that you use your expertise to guide and advise our clients, but in the way you lead our teammates and the way you come together and lock arms just to manage it all together. And I'm watching it and I'm just so excited that we get to share this with our listening audiences. You guys, I'm gonna close it out with one more thing. And it's kind of where you are right now. One of our partners and I have this conversation and we were thinking about, what are you thinking on right now? What's something that's really important to you? What are you obsessing over right now? I'm going to flip that a little bit on you. Tell me one thing that you're learning right now or that you're just really passionate about right this second. Go around the table and tell us something of what's hot right now. Luann?
Scuba diving.
Hey.
Okay. Yes.
Thank you for not
So
making
good.
it. Yes. Thank you for not making it work related.
Philosophical. Yeah. It's so good.
I mean, that really, my grandchildren, they're my why. My people are my why. And so that's what if I'm going to obsess, that's what I'm going to obsess about. But I really would like to be under the water.
In a good way.
You were talking about the water a couple of days ago, Luann, and what I remember the most is how you were describing the colors that you were seeing. And in my head, I had the vision. So thanks for sharing that with me because that probably took over some junk. I'd rather see the beauty than what you were sharing. Yeah. Kaitlin, how about you?
The first thing that came to mind is totally different than that. So I guess that gives you the space to say whatever you want.
That's right.
Sarah.
Just to be fair, I just did get back from vacation. So
That's right.
so let's be truthful here.
Yeah. So one of the things I can't stop thinking about is I went to a seminar on AI and it talked about how AI is to amplify our knowledge and how there's sort of like a Venn diagram of personal knowledge and technology and how, when you put those together, just how powerful they'll be.
Yeah.
And that felt like it unlocked something for me because just really being able to think through how am I going to bring up this next generation and teach them along with technology, where's the space? I just see it as a lot of collaboration. And to me, that just sounds so exciting. So I can't stop thinking about that idea and how we could make that work within CCK and the industry. So
I'm so glad you're high-end developer because I just see our future looking so beautiful and bright because you use your natural gifts and talents. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And she did
Kyna?
get back from conferences. So
Right.
Top of mind.
That's right. That's exactly right.
That's right. Well, kind of on that note, and I think you have heard it from me today, what my mind is on. One of my initiatives this year is on leadership from where you're at. And what we're going to kind of coin it, and this is going to be the unveiling. You are the first ones to hear. It is how do you add to the culture? And so we speak about our culture a lot here at CCK because it's a real tangible thing. But I don't want any teammate to think I'm not in that position, so I don't add to the culture. No matter what seat you're sitting in, you're adding to the culture. If you started today, you're adding to the culture. And so creating a professional development pathway for our teammates, regardless if you're in production support, no matter where you're sitting, what does that look like for you in your current career path? And being able to kind of build that out. So that is something that's always been close to my heart. And so it is something that I'm thinking about a lot right now. And so just I'm noticing our teammates a lot right now. And so just kind of, okay, that's interesting there. I wonder what we could do to kind of help support that person or that person. And so it's a lot of information for my brain to take in, but it's really exciting and it's really fun. So just that, how can we build those strong teammates that are really good at collaborating so that they can bring their knowledge and we can just keep moving forward?
Kyna, you do it. You take the individual and you look at them, you see who they are, what they're adding to the team, and then you take a look at them and how they're adding to the big picture, and you recognize them, you help them, and that makes everyone better. And by example, it makes us better too. Yeah. Sara, you want to close it out with your answer and then any final comments?
Sure. I mean, just like with all of these ladies, something top of mind right now for me is just balance. And it's not Kyna's favorite word, work-life balance, or phrase.
No, it's not. FYI, it's not.
But a balance of making sure that I show up as my best for everybody that I interact with. And that way, and that I'm not overloaded in one area so that I can't show up at my best for somebody else. And I know that sounds really selfish, but it's not coming from a selfish place. It's really from a place of like, if I need to show up for Luann and Luann needs me, I want to be that for that, and where I'm not thinking of answers or other things while somebody else is talking.
Well,
there, I brought it back home.
I thought you were going to say your grandbaby.
Oh, well, that too.
I mean, you are obsessed.
I am obsessed.
Serious obsessed.
Yes.
I think it's cool. I think it's cool because you do have balance and you bring it all together. And thank you for sharing some of that balance with me, because I count on it. I count on all of you for the many things that we work together on and collaborating, whether it's one-on-one or whether we're taking on a bigger initiative for the firm. I'm grateful for all of you. Sara,
yes.
You want to finish this off?
Yes. First of all, I want to say thank you guys for making the third time to come in. And that's another story. Another story, listeners. But yes, thank you guys so much for making time to talk to us today and being on our wonderful podcast. But before we completely close it down, I have questions for you. And I'm going to answer them too. But I'm going to start. We'll start around the table. And it's our favorite segment of Would You Rather. So, Luann, kick us off with, would you rather always be overdressed? Like I'm talking formal, Spanx, the whole works, and everything's lifted, taped, and all those things. Would you rather be overdressed or like Cousin Eddie underdressed?
It depends. Isn't an option, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's either or.
Yeah.
Would you rather?
Underdressed.
Okay. Kaitlin?
Oh, we're all
answering this, girl.
Having recently come off a situation where I was underdressed, I'm going to go with overdressed. Didn't like that feeling.
Which one's in my color wheel?
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm just going to wear whatever color is going to be the right one, because then nobody will care.
Well, I think Cousin Eddie is generally in white shoes, right?
Well, that is
some sort of shiny loafer.
Even though all of that I'm going to go with Kaitlin too. I agree with her. I would rather be overdressed, even though I do like casual and that's my normal jam. I just don't want to be in Cousin Eddie attire. And I'm honestly thinking of Cousin Eddie when he has his Speedos on and his wife beater tucked into his Speedos.
I take it back.
Overdressed.
There you go. All right. All right, Kaitlin, we'll start. We're all going to answer, but Kaitlin, we'll start with you. Would you rather give up brunch forever, give up, or happy hours forever?
That's kind of easy for me. I would give up happy hours forever.
Yes.
Oh, I'd give up happy hour.
Same.
I'm going to keep brunch.
Yeah, same, because I can have a mimosa at brunch. Luann?
I'd give up brunch. I don't eat breakfast.
Valid. All right, Kyna, would you rather be the rainmaker or the behind-the-scenes problem solver?
Probably what fits me best is the behind-the-scenes problem solver.
Okay.
So I'll go with that.
All right. Same, I would be the behind-the-scenes problem solver. Luann?
My favorite would be the behind the scenes problem solver.
Okay. Kaitlin?
That's been, I think, my default, but I'm leaning more and more. I'd go rainmaker.
Nice.
Yeah.
Go out of your comfort zone,
I
right?
know.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love it.
Those
When you can
answers,
find your
I don't know if I
authentic
could have
self.
answered those for
Yes.
you. Yeah.
Okay.
Very
And
cool.
to be fair, all of these ladies are awesome rainmakers. They can make rain well.
That's true.
Valid. I like that answer.
Yeah.
All right. I'll answer this one first and we'll go around. Would you rather always make someone laugh or always say the perfect thing? I would always want to say the perfect thing, but I really like making people laugh. So I'm going to go with that one.
I always want to say the right thing.
I focus too much on trying to say the right thing. So I'm going with make people laugh.
Oh, that's
I love
good.
it.
Yeah, me too.
Gosh, I really like making people laugh, but I think I do care about saying the right thing. So I'm going to go with that.
Love it. Well, thank you for that fun insight. Because see, even with Christy asking the serious questions, we got to really dive deep into those would you rathers.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right. Well, thank you again, ladies, for being with us today. And we really appreciate all of our listeners tuning in and for every single week. And we really, really like to hear all of your comments and questions and even ideas for new episodes. So please email us at podcast@cckcpa.com. We'd like to give a huge shout out to CCK Strategies. Thank you for giving us this platform to do this each and every week. Thank you to our wonderful Christy Porter for always keeping us on the straight and narrow. Thanks to Robert Mays, my wonderful husband, for doing all of the intro and outro music. Thank you to Clarence Fisher at Tulsa Internet Marketing Services for everything that he provides on the background and all the great stuff there. And thank you to Emily Johansson for being our amazing, amazing person that just keeps all the schedules going and makes sure we do the right thing. Join us next time as these two CPAs and Christy get together to chat and you get to find out who's on the mic. The information provided on this podcast is for general informational and educational purposes only and does not constitute accounting, tax, legal, or financial advice. While we strive to provide accurate and up-to-date information, laws and regulations change and individual circumstances vary. Always consult with a qualified CPA or professional advisor before making any financial or business decisions. The views expressed by the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of any organizations they are affiliated with. Listening to this podcast does not create a client-accountant relationship. By listening to this podcast, you acknowledge and agree to those terms. And that's a wrap for this episode of Two CPAs and the Mic. If you found today's episode helpful, please subscribe, share, and leave us a review. Have questions or ideas for a topic? Reach out. We'd love to hear from you. Email us at podcast@cckcpa.com.